What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to From the Top Rope with Andrew Crawford. I'm your boy Andrew Crawford. Not the GOAT, but I look like a GOAT. Close enough, am I right? I think I'm right. And tonight on the channel, I say tonight because it is a little bit after midnight when I'm recording this. I will be doing what I do best, and that is talking about professional wrestling. Disclaimer. The next few videos I'll be wearing the exact same shirt, mainly because I'm going to record a bunch at once and upload them like today, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 4 days in a row, to make up for the fact that I have been slacking on my weekly upload promise. I've been dealing with something mental health wise, haven't really wanted to make any videos, been a little lazy. I'm sorry. Good news is, hopefully I'm back for the next little bit. So yeah, a few makeup videos. The first topic is some dream matches that I've been talking about. And, well, the reason I've been doing the dream match... I will be discussing dream matches of mine and some of my friends. The Santa Top 10 list. This is just me kind of ranking them and talking about them a little bit. I'll tell you the friend. I feel like I got a good blend of the types of wrestling fans. I got the hardcore fans, the nostalgia-loving fans, the casual fans, the think they're hardcore fans, but really they're just stuck on their nostalgia and love to complain about how today's not as good as it was back in the day. I will not say which friends are which. I will just say that I feel like I got a good blend of every type of wrestling fan. Now, with that said, let's talk about it. The first match on this that I want to talk about is a kind of common occurrence on the entire list, which came from all of the friends that I got responses from. Roman and The Rock. Obviously, it's a dream match. You know, you have the face of the Samoan dynasty from way back when, as overrated as I think you could argue he is. And then you have Roman, the face of not only the Bloodline dynasty in today's society of wrestling, but maybe the face of professional wrestling. This would obviously be a banger match. You know, you have Roman, who has went from the big powerhouse in the Shield to the big dog. No one could stand him, to now being the most over man in wrestling. When you go to a wrestling show, it does not matter if Roman is a heel or a face. Everyone's throwing up the ones. They are acknowledging the tribal chief. And that kind of development is akin to his own cousin, The Rock, who went from Rocky Maivia, happy to be here babyface, to getting Die Rocky Die chants, and just to see the collision of two men who had such a weirdly similar career path, and it be even crazier of a coincidence because they're legitimately related. Although distantly, they are legitimately related. It would be genuinely insane to see this match, and I'm not saying it would be a 5-star match. It would not be a Will Ospreay match. It would not be a Kenny Omega match. It would not be a classic Flair match, a Shawn Michaels match. It would be a match that you want and you are happy you got because of the build. It would be Rock and Hogan in 02. Hot take, that match was not good. The crowd made it good. That is what would happen with this match, and I would be very okay with seeing it. The next match on this list comes from my friend, former basketball coach, point guard for my alma mater basketball team, Noah Young. Everyone gave him the nickname Scoots. John Moxley and Mick Foley inside Hell in a Cell. He's got a couple matches I want to talk about on this list. I'm only going to talk about 2, and I hate that I'm narrowing it down to 2 because these are some great matches he kind of put down here. This match would be wild because Mox loves to bleed, Mick loves to bleed, Mox loves to hurt himself, Mick loves to hurt himself. This would literally be a battle of who does the dumber spot, and I would love it. If we got Mankind, we got the Mankind that threw himself off the cell for the fans, and then we got the Mox that will literally go through the most mental bumps ever, we could be in for an all-time, like, in terms of hardcore. Like, it wouldn't be an in-ring clinic, but it would be a banger. This one from Scoots would be an in-ring clinic. It would be an all-timer. Kurt Angle versus Bryan Danielson. Wow. Of all the dream matches I've thought of in my life, I've never thought of this one. He's got another Bryan Danielson match, and that involves Chris Benoit. I went with Angle because, oh my gosh, the fact that these two barely missed each other every time hurts me. Especially if we could have got Prime Angle versus Prime Danielson. Oh. In ring, this could be a show stealer like no one's business. I love the idea of this match, the concept of it, and I really feel like this match would be like when two people that are really good at the WWE 2K video games get on there with really good overalls and just cannot beat the other one. That is what this would be. This would be iconic, and I would love it. The next one comes from my friend Kobe Prophet, who he put a few bangers on here. I already talked about one, Rock and Roman, but he's got a couple Braun Breaker matches. Braun versus Jacob Fatu. Now, this is the only match that I will talk about that I feel like we will truly get to see ever, and that hurts. That makes me want to cry. You know, we could still get maybe Braun and Roman, but like I said, this is the only one that we could still see that I'm talking about in this video. You got two big boys that can move like they're cruiserweights in the ring together. Now, normally, I don't love these matches, but with these two, they would put on a banger. Jacob Fatu is one of the best in the world right now. I don't care. No man that is that big should be able to just springboard like he is Rey Mysterio. But he can. Braun Breaker is one of the quickest wrestlers today. Like, he has absurd speed, absurd agility, and true to what he says, the best spear in the business. Sorry Roman, sorry Edge. Even though I love Edge, but Braun has the best spear in the world right now, and just seeing these two go move for move would be an instant classic. Another one was actually planned until the untimely passing of Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero versus Shawn Michaels. This match would be insane to watch. You have two of the most popular wrestlers, not only of their generation, but ever. If you ask a casual fan or a hardcore fan, they know who Eddie is, they know who Shawn is. And it would be a match that, it would be a feud that I think would feed families. Like, it would be that good. Like, this would be a storyline akin to Hogan and Savage going at it. You could take this, build it up a year, and then let them go in the ring and have a barn burner. And yes, I will admit, Hogan has a barn burner, but it was with Randy Savage. Randy carried him through the match. Hogan, that's the nicest thing you'll ever hear me say about you. Eddie and Shawn, though, they would put on a match that exceeds every expectation you could have. I'm firmly confident. But also, you know, that's why it's a dream match, you know. It's a dream, it'll never happen, and you can't be disappointed if you don't get what you expected. And that was a really sad and dark turn. Let's go to another, one of my friends. This comes from a, more than just a good friend, a very good Christian man A very good friend in my life that I'm very blessed to have met. His name's Jacob Frazier. Like I said, Roman The Rock, Taker, Sting, those two popped up on all those lists except for Kobe's. Kobe really thought outside the box there. I'm going to talk about Shawn Michaels versus Seth Rollins. You got Shawn Michaels versus the closest thing to this generation Shawn Michaels that we've seen. But here's the thing, Seth is not just the Shawn Michaels of my generation. He is the first ever Seth Rollins. The things that Seth could do in his prime will genuinely make you how did he, wasn't he, okay. And then you have Shawn, one of the best innovators. And I feel like if you add a ladder match stipulation to this, or you add the proper face heel dynamics of Shawn being the face and Seth being the cowardly heel, you could get magic. You could get beauty. You could get glory. And you could get professional wrestling history. And again, I'd be here for it. The last match I want to talk about is one that I never really thought of. The Outsiders versus the Brothers of Destruction. Now, this is by far not the most exciting match that was said to me. Out of everything that was said to me, I was like, okay. But storyline wise, it could have made so much sense in 2002 when the NWO came back to WWE. Because Undertaker was still, him and Kane were still friends, still working together, still the Brothers of Destruction. And then the Outsiders came in with the NWO when Vince McMahon wanted to give the company a lethal dose of poison. Taker and Kane, Hall and Nash are all four some of the best big men in professional wrestling history. Not just because of their size, but because of how good they were in ring combined with their size. And I won't lie, I like to rag on Kevin Nash because my mom's in love with the man. But bro could go. So could Hall. So could Taker. So could Kane. I think you could get, I'm not going to say an all-timer, but you could get a tag match that people are like, wow, that was good. How it would fare against some of the other all-time tag matches of the Attitude Era, I don't know. How it would fare against some of the best tag team work we've seen in the modern era, Usos versus New Day, Young Bucks versus Hardys, I don't know. But I would be willing to watch it, and I think it would be very good. And that does it for the first video I'm recording tonight. What did you think about it? Tell me about it again in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I've been Andrew Crawford, and unlike John Cena, I can see you, and I will see you very soon.